Everybody, it is Tuesday afternoon, a little bit after 3 o'clock, and got a little bit of a change in the forecast for us this afternoon into the evening. Probably, I can't make this any larger, but if you just squint, if you will, this is current radar, and you'll notice these big storms blowing up in Georgia. I'll put my glasses on, Daryl, so I can see what's going on here. Let me show you this. This is our satellite view. And those same storms that I showed you on radar, this is the satellite view. These are bubbling up fairly nicely. This is sort of a storm complex that's moving on in from Georgia. My feeling is it's going to scrape the upstate and then more than likely the western Midlands before it heads down towards the south. This is, remember, Charleston to about to Hilton Head. I said later on today, you're going to get the sea breeze front that's already starting to fire these storms, and you're going to get this other little system that's going to come in. They're going to meet, and I think this is where we're going to start to get a lot of potential for some severe weather coming up for us today. It's from this and the sea breeze front. Not that we're not going to have peppered about some more storms around, but I think this is the area here right along the Savannah River, or affectionately known as the CSRA, which would include Edgefield in the South Carolina counties, Edgefield, McCormick, Aiken, Barnwell, Bamberg counties, further towards the south, maybe even Allendale, and then, of course, through the low country. So those are the storms that we are watching, as we showed you on radar and now with the satellite view. This from the Storm Prediction Center. They've gone ahead and they've issued, as I said earlier this morning, this is a marginal risk of severe weather now for the entire state. My feeling is not everyone's going to get a severe storm this afternoon, but the potential there is for storms that contain some damaging winds, possibility of marble-sized hail, really torrential rainfall, and frequent lightning with these storms. So if you're under one of them, you'll know it soon enough for sure. So there certainly could be some severe thunderstorm warnings issued. Don't think there's enough in the criteria to issue a severe thunderstorm watch. My feeling is the Storm Prediction Center would have done that already, so I'm not worried about that at all. But it is something, of course, we'll have to watch over the next at least till about midnight before everything's said and done. All right. So before I get to the forecast for the rest of the evening, let's do something that I sort of waited to show you because I wanted to make sure that it was fine. This is from the Hurricane Center. If you remember yesterday, we had 3 areas to watch. This little area here, well off our coast, that's headed out to sea, no worries there. But we also had a little yellow area here. And I said, people making a big deal about that on social media. And I said, just forget about it. It's going to go away. And sure enough, it has. That's the area that we are most, I don't want to say concerned because I'm not a bit really concerned about it. But it is the one that I think has the potential to be a named storm here in short order. So according to the National Hurricane Center, disorganized showers and thunderstorms with this tropical wave is moving off towards the west, northwest, and it's moving relatively slowly. Hurricane Center gives it in the next 7 days about a 70% chance of developing into a named storm. And if that's the case, my feeling is this goes whoop, out to sea. I think everything indication to me, at least at this point, is that that's going to happen. With the tropics, it's a different makeup with these storm systems. You're not dealing with cold fronts and warm fronts. You're not dealing with the topography of the land. You're dealing with water, and warm water at that. There's nothing else to get in its way for growth. Therefore, these little systems can develop fairly quickly, and there can be changes quickly, more so than when you're dealing with storms over land, right? So again, there will be obviously some tweaks and changes to this, but as of now, my feeling is this stays out to sea. It's been a relatively slow hurricane season, but we're ramping up here very quickly into the peak of hurricane season, which is September 10th. We're talking about between now and a month from now will be a peak season. All right, so let's get into the rest of tonight and what we can expect. So this is a great shot. This picks it up right now. And so this is what the model says. Let's look at what the satellite says. All right, boom. I mean, it matches perfectly. That's what I like to see, is that consistency in reality compared to what the models say. So let's go on in time here. So here's 2 o'clock this afternoon, 3 o'clock. Pretty much we're right on target here. Here's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, so this activity sags to the south. This model has it expanding towards the Midlands, and then more activity coming in off the mountains through Greenville. So there's 5 o'clock, and here's 8 o'clock. It somewhat diminishes the storms towards the low country. Don't buy into that quite yet. I think that that's still enough juice here, enough instability where we're still going to have some storms, and then towards the PD as we get into 8 o'clock at night. So let's go back here one more time. I'll take you to 2 o'clock, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so my feeling is 6, 7 o'clock that this line will move through, and by 8 o'clock it's done. So in this particular model, it goes basically every 3 hours. And then let's go to 11 o'clock, quiet, it's done. So any chance of severe weather really would be between now and about midnight, 11 o'clock, and then we're done with it. As far as tomorrow's concerned, it's the heat. And then we'll have to start really focusing on the heat. The heat's going to be the big issue coming up starting today. It's hot enough, but really tomorrow, Wednesday, all the way through Monday, Tuesday of next week, we're going to be dealing with actual temperatures, generally speaking, around the state, 95 degrees and higher, which means some of us could hit 100 degrees. And then you throw the humidity in. Anywhere from Charleston to Hilton Head, we could have a heat index to 116 to 117 degrees. That's not dangerous heat. That's deadly heat, right? That is heat that even we're used to hot temperatures. That's even well above and beyond anything we've got to deal with. So that's going to be a really tough situation as we go through time here in the next several days. I'll keep you posted with the updated information on that. So the takeaway for the rest of the afternoon is stay close here on our social media sites for the latest weather. If there's a bulletin, we'll have it first. Be sure to share this with family and friends so it stays in their timeline. I do think we'll have some severe thunderstorm warnings around. We can't help it. This is a lot of energy. We've got a lot of juice in the air. So I don't think it'll be widespread, but I think some of us certainly will engage in some of those heavier thunderstorms as we move through tonight, with everything ending by about midnight or so. All right.